This is Fred Beck from Frederick's Fighting. Today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Daryl from Coach's Corner. So thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's good to see you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
So usually you're doing your streams, you're on YouTube, but you've been on YouTube for a while now. How have you found the last few years on YouTube?
Um, Man, things actually kind of they started out slow for me in the beginning. Um, and then I ran into ESBC, of course, right? Um, and everything just kind of took off from there. Like I was struggling to get like 30 views on a video, and then I hit ESBC, and dude, skies has been the limit since.
And how long have you been doing like the Twitch for? Because I know like a lot of people, I know Content Reese, he wants to start doing kind of more the Twitch stuff, and the same with Boxing Fanatico, he's big on Twitch. How long have you been doing the Twitch for them?
Dude, I think I've actually had Twitch for over 2 years. My problem though was consistency, man. Like I can't stay consistent, dude. Like I work too much. I work and family and all of that. But I mean, once a week, that's what I'm at right now. Once a week at least, start slow and then I'll take it from there.
I guess you would have like a certain day you always, in a certain time, you always stream on Twitch, and then the fans and the who support you always tune in then. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the same story for a lot of people. I remember Boxing Machiko explained to me that his videos, they're getting all right views, but as soon as he started doing the Esports Boxing Club videos, the views would go up and up and up. Yeah, so let's talk about the game Esports Boxing Club. One of the things I want to touch on is Manny Pacquiao fought on the weekend, and I think a lot of people wanting him to be in the game. Do you think, I know he's still a legend, certainly I want him to be in the game, but do you think there'll be such interest of him still being in the game, considering that he lost to Ugas?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Manny's done things that nobody's ever done before, or probably will do. I think the closest fighter who is close to Manny as far as how many divisions is a female fighter and Amanda Serrano, and I think she's a 7 division world champion. And when it comes to Manny, he's done so much. The guy is literally a legend. You can't even say anything bad about Manny without catching heat from pretty much anybody. So yeah, without a doubt, I think there's a huge fan base out there that want Manny in. I personally want to see Manny in there. And I think he will help to put an enormous amount of additional sales onto ESBC if he is in there.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's correct. Obviously, I want him in the game, but the game's kind of angled. Obviously, there's not a very small amount of hardcore boxing fans in the world compared to all the casual fans. And like as soon as a fighter loses in the casual fans, they don't really like him anymore. So I was just bring the point up there. But Manny Pacquiao's a legend. You've got to have him in the game. You've got to have him in the game, sorry. And there are any other fighters that aren't in the game yet. I know they've got a lot, Canelo, Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones. And then any other fighters that haven't been announced yet that you'd like to see in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a list of young fighters out there. We know Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. We luckily just got Shakur Stevens, which is huge because, I mean, that kind of connects the dots a little bit to some of these other young, hungry lions that are out there. Ryan Garcia, of course. I would definitely like to see more of the young mainstream talent kind of make it. The next one that would really blow me away if they got it would be Naoya Inoue.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that if he's in the game, he's probably one of the top played fighters in the entire game.
Yeah, sure. He's massive in America, but in England, I don't know why. I never really see his name much on Twitter or Instagram. I guess that he needs to come fight over him and be a massive name. Yeah, so I see a lot of people. I just checked my phone right now. I don't normally do that in interviews. Sorry, I just checked it and I saw that Mike Tyson, everyone is saying that Mike Tyson would be in the game. And obviously, everyone would love for him to be in the game, but he's not. I thought he was following Esports Boxing Club, but it seems like he isn't. Was he originally following them?
Yeah, he was originally following him, and I believe they have been. I believe they continue to follow him also. I haven't personally heard of Mike Tyson being added to the game yet. I don't believe that's a name that they would just drop like that easily. Neither Mike Tyson deserves an entire like release show. Yeah, so I couldn't see him being in the game yet. I do believe that there's interest from Mike Tyson to be in the game though.
I guess what the smart thing to be do is when they not release the game, but when they're saying, oh, like it's about a month, or a few weeks till the game's being released, then they should drop a big name because then the surge of buys and purchases will go up quite a lot.
Absolutely.
So thing that's quite interesting. It has a point of view. When you have the point of view in the game, so the box is right in front of you fighting, instead of you just seeing the two boxes on the screen. Do you think that would be a possibility of the game? So seeing that you're playing on your Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and you're just playing as yourself, or maybe in VR, maybe.
I do for sure. One of the big things that Steel City has always talked about from the beginning is innovation, right? They just recently put out a tweet on the ESBC page asking the fans about, because they heard some rumblings about camera angles. So they reached out, asked the fans what they feel or what it is that they want to see in the game when it comes to camera angles. So absolutely, I believe that if enough people ask for it at this point, I think these guys will be willing to do it because they are making a game for the fans, not just for sales. And I think it will sell because the fans will want it.
Yeah,
what
you just said there is very true. Being a game for the fans because that's what Esports Boxing Club does really well. They listen to what people want. I mean, no one else has done that point of view vision before, that camera angle before. I mean, UFC hasn't done it, EA haven't done it. I think Esports Boxing Club, they're a good addition to the game. I saw another thing was having like a gym mode where you can go hit the bag, train with the coach, sparring. Do you think that would be, obviously that could be a possibility in career mode, but what are your thoughts on that kind of thing?
For sure. I actually talked about it in a recent video of mine, man. And I think it would be a great idea. So I know there's a little bit of draw in the community right now between online and offline play and that type of stuff. But I think mixing those two worlds together, making it to where if you have a gym, say you have a Fred Talks Fighting's gym where multiple people can come and join your gym and you can get in there and spar other people online. Those types of things contribute to your characters, your fighters' growth, and all that type of stuff, dude. I think the immersiveness of just that alone, you being able to have your own gym in game. If I had a coach's corner gym and then we could compete with each other in tournaments, that would, I mean, the possibilities just seem almost endless, man. It would be massive. It would be great for all the fans out there.
Yeah, walking around to other people's gyms, that'd be quite cool. That's quite good. Like a map almost. Yeah, that's quite a good idea actually. And yeah, and just on career mode, I guess that could be an option. But career mode's a thing that we haven't really heard a lot about of yet. What are your kind of expectations for career mode? What do you think that it'll be about, and what do you think will be in it?
So I'll go all the way back. Like I've been covering ESBC for a long time, long time. And one of the original things that they put out, and this was in a Forbes interview, probably about 2 years ago now. One of the things that they pushed, they kept saying that ESBC would be like an RPG basically, and that's what your career mode was going to be. It was you starting out amateurs into the pros, and so forth. You could retire whenever you wanted to. You could never turn pro if you didn't want to. I think with that aspect in mind, I think when it comes to the career mode, the key thing should be full control. I should be able to have full control over my fighter's entire career, his coaches, his nutritionists, his clothing line, his Twitter account. Like I want full control over everything, management, and just immerse me in the business of boxing. And I think you have a perfect career mode at that point.
Oh, and that does sound like a public career mode. And the clothing line, if they did have something like that, I'll be quite impressed by that. I'm kind of blown away almost. That'd be very, very new. No one's even done that before. And honestly, career modes are one thing. Everyone is asking for the gameplay, and they did release a gameplay trailer almost unexpectedly because they didn't say. Normally, they say a few days before, "Oh, we're releasing a trailer, releasing some gameplay." But didn't this time, and just dropped on us, which I quite liked almost as a surprise. Talking surprises, one of the big surprises in the game was Tyson Fury. Obviously, Ryan Rhodes has always said, and I'd always said before, that Andy Joshua and Tyson Fury, they kind of tied up in that EA contract almost. I'm not sure how long that lasts for because I wish I could speak to them, but I can't. But what are your thoughts on Tyson Fury being in the game? And then that kind of might lead on to AJ being in the game. Do you think that's a possibility of AJ being in the game at all?
I think so. I do believe that it'll probably be tougher to get AJ though at this point. I would imagine EA's got to be a little salty after losing Tyson Fury. And I would go out on a limb to say that they probably put a little tightness on AJ to keep him from going anywhere also. Um, but I don't think it's out of the picture, man. You know, if they were able to go out and get Tyson Fury, and then I mean, look, the roster's over 200 plus fighters at this point, and you almost want to say that the sky's is the limit. If they can get Tyson Fury, who can't they get? They already have Canelo. They just got Shakur Stevens. Oh, Lomachenko, like Terrence Crawford. Like, who can't they get at this point? But I'll say, stepping on the other side of the line, man. If I was EA, yeah, I'd put the shackles on AJ and make sure he didn't go anywhere anytime soon.
Do you think EA? That's a very good point about them putting more tightness on the contracts. But do you think there's any chance of EA coming back? Because I heard something about them releasing a new Fight Night game, and there's maybe like a really or not a release date almost, but they're going to tell us a bit about what they're doing with it. I think the date was like July 25th, and now it's what's the date today? 24th of August, so nearly a month later. Do you know? Have you heard anything about EA or anything about them coming back for a new Fight Night at all?
I haven't, but I wouldn't put it past EA either. EA knows how to make money, and they've been doing that for a very, very, very long time. So I think, look, I'll give it to you from my perspective. If I was EA, I would kind of sit back, I'd watch and see what the success was for ESBC. If the community says, "Hey, glad that boxing is back," then if I'm EA, I'm diving back in the pool again, and I'm pulling out another fight night because, believe it or not, Fight Night has they have a huge fan base out there still to this day after almost 11 years of being away. If they came back now, name recognition alone is kind of tough to deal with. So look, it's like it's like going to buy a pair of no-name shoes versus a pair of Jordans.
That's a good analogy. That's a very good analogy.
They could be back at any point as long as they announce a new edition.
Yeah, it's very true. But don't you think that Esports Boston Club must sign most of the relevant fighters, kind of the fighters that everyone wants to be in the game already? So one day, or maybe in a few months' time when the game's released, Esports Boston Club have already snatched up all the fighters, and EA won't be able to get any big names.
I think it boils down to the exclusivity of the contracts. It's something that I've tried to like get information on myself, but nobody's going to give you contract information, of course. Nobody wants that type of information to be public. So I think if these guys are in any sort of exclusive contracts with Steel City, then yes, EA will find some big time issues trying to get fighters on their roster, with most of them being tied up to ESBC. But I don't really believe that's the case, man. I don't believe they're tied up in any exclusivity. We've already seen there was a boxing game round for round. I did an interview with Jamel Herring. He had gotten an original call from those guys and then still was able to do business with SCI. So, I mean, who knows, like that contract world is just something that we're not really privy to. But everybody will tell you, look, the more boxing games that are out there, the better it is for the consumer. More competition produces better products. So I'll tell everybody to bring it on, of course.
Yeah, I know. That's what all the promotions always say in boxing. Because obviously they're saying, oh, the Triller's a new thing, new guys on the block. But then again, there's like Eddie Hearn saying, oh, yeah, it's just good for boxing, really, because it brings more competition. I see your point there, round for round, EA Fight Night, and then Esports Boxing Club. There's one more thing I want to touch on before I let you go. It's a customization thing in the game. So do you think even the fighter walks out of their top, their T-shirt, hoodie, and then as well as on their shorts, do you think you'll be able to customize that maybe in normal mode and in career mode?
I do. I think there's going to be a lot of flexibility to it. The one thing that I would like to see added personally would be able to have our own logos and things like that we can actually put in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you was able to walk in and your fighter has his whole get up on, but he's got your symbol on the back or on the shorts or something like that. It's the little things, man. It's that immersiveness, and just being able to see that other like personal touch put to it. That type of stuff keeps people coming back. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot to do with customization and creating characters and potential for like a fighter share system or what have you. I think it's going to be pretty good.
I think they did a bit of that already in the Discord group. I joined the Discord group a couple of weeks ago, and they're then boxing Fanatico. They're Fanatico nickname. They don't have a vote thing, and they're Fanatico in the game. So I guess they all coach in the game. That's a normal thing. But Fredo's fighting is not really a nickname for it though. So maybe somehow I can get the logos in. I'll have to talk to Ryan about it. See what we can do about the YouTubers about it. All right, thanks so much for your time today, mate. That's great talking to you. So I'll leave the Twitch and YouTube in the description if you guys want to go subscribe and follow you. But both of them will find you on social media at.
Yeah, Coach Corner 83. That's where you can find me on Twitter. And then of course, YouTube, man. The Coach's Corner. So great content. Look, man, I watch your stuff all the time, man. The young GOAT, Fred. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much for your time again, mate. It's awesome. Thank you.
All right, now have a good one.